Ontario. My name's Dave. This is Macaro Siding, my N-scale layout. We're going to continue on with the yard. Now, I got lucky on eBay and I found 4 left-hand switches. They are as hard as hen's teeth to find anywhere. And I also bought a bunch of right-hand ones from it was Pfeiffer or anyway, it doesn't matter who bought them from. I bought a bunch more right-hand ones because I know I'm going to need them, even though I don't need them now for the layout, because there's only the 4 turnouts for left-hand that I need to complete the actual layout. I also ordered some plies because I've decided I'm going to also put a repair in place in the yard as well. So anyway, let's get on with it. So first things first, I realized that I'm going to have buildings in this yard, and 2 of them are cornerstone models from Walthers. And the first one, they're not both from Walthers. One's Bachmann and one's Walthers. Well, the first one is this engine house. It's 130 scale feet long, and it has 2 tracks going into it. So I have to make sure on the layout that I have the 2 tracks in place, and then I have to make sure that they're spaced right. Otherwise, they're not going to match up with this. So those tracks won't get glued down or in place until this building is complete and can be stuck on the layout, and then I can run track to it. Also, the floor of this building has the tracks buried in the floor, so I have to be able to figure out exactly how long they're going to be to fit inside the building and come out and go to the rest of the yard. So that's number 1. So when you're planning your yard, make sure you've also decided on buildings that you're going to use, because you can lay track and then find out that you can't get your buildings to go where you need to go. And the second building is from Bachmann, and it's an N-scale kit as well. Of course, it's an N-scale layout. And this is a, what are they calling it? Car repair shop. So this has 3 tracks going into it. Well, when I was planning the layout, I only planned for 2 tracks. So of course that meant another turnout and changing the spacing of the tracks. And again, the tracks go through the floor of this building. So I'm going to be cutting off all the ties and then gluing the tracks down either side of the building. I think in this case, with this car repair, the tracks go right through the building. In the engine repair, they don't go through the building. They saw up at a back wall inside the building. So I'm probably going to build these on the channel, just so you can see how I build models. They are both really detailed and nice, but it's going to take some time to get there. So anyway, I'm just reminding you, once you start building your yard, figure out where you're going to put your buildings, because that's going to be a problem. The repair in place location is going to be just an open area with concrete around the track, and maybe a shed type structure over top of the track, so that the repair people can work in the rain kind of thing, but out in the open. And I've also decided that I'm going to double up the maintenance away area, because I have a lot of maintenance away rolling stone. So anyway, let's get started. I'm going to move over to the layout, and this time I'm going to switch so you actually see what I'm doing and talking about. The other thing I remember to do is I unplugged the water filtration system, so you won't hear any beeping. I mean, quite literally, people, I can't hear it, even when it's on. I can't hear it. And I can be 5 feet away from it and still can't hear it. So that's how bad my hearing is. It has its benefits sometimes. So anyway, let's move over. Oops. So now you can see, I've got to be careful to keep out of the shade here. Now you can see what I've done so far. I've got this whole board, except for the left hand here, it's all in place. So quite literally, I can go through here now, start cutting track, and getting it ready. Some of these I can leave on here. Some of these long ones I can leave on here. Some of them I'm not going to. So for instance, this one, the majority of it is on the middle. And the same with this one. This is majority of it, it's on the middle as well. This point just comes over the crack, so I'm going to not attach it here. I'm going to put it, we'll put it when we put this board, the middle board in place, then I'll attach that. I can, I think, put, maybe after today, maybe I will do that, I'm not sure. Okay, maybe after today I will be putting this, this first board here and this middle board in place on the layout itself. The last board is the one that has two left hands in it. The middle one has one left hand in it. It's also going to get a Y that's going to be in the far board, but the Ys I bought them on eBay, just like I bought the left hands on eBay. And I think the last time I checked, they're not going to be here until like September 6th, and that's quite a ways away. So we may be doing stuff back on the layout, or we may be putting these two boards on the layout, and that way we can start putting droppers down and everything else. So first off, what I'm going to do here is, there are some turnouts that are sitting like this one. I have to look back behind me so I know what I'm pointing at. This one here is the one I had to add in to give me a third rail to the car repair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cutters, and remember I told you last time, with end scale, when you use these cutters, you use them straight up and down. So I'm just going to put the cutters in there, and I'm going to snap. Snap. Now this is not going to be a long video. So I'm going to take this piece out now. I'm going to pin down this turnout, and now, oh, and I better pin that down too. Now these ones, like I said, they in the car repair shop, the tracks go right through. So I might, thinking about it, leave these dangled like this and decide what I'm going to do. I may want to have cars sitting out there on the other side of the building just to make it more interesting and to make it look like it doesn't just stop like that right there. So now I've got a piece of scrap. And I'm just going to roughly cut it, but I'm going to make it longer than it needs to be. Because that way, once I start actually physically putting rail joiners on these things, I'll be able to manipulate them. And oops, let's see if I can get that pin to go in a little bit better than that. There we go. Now see, that's not really that's going to have to be bent to fit in there. So now I've got another one down here that needs to be cut as well. So again, I'm going to snip this here. Now this is where the engine shed is going to go. So I'm going to pull this out, pull this up. And as I said, the engine shed, the tracks stop inside the building. They do not go all the way through the structure. So here we go. Pin that down. Pin that down. Now I find this method of laying complex track a lot easier when I can do it like this on a separate space away from the layout. This way, first off, I don't have to be climbing all over everything to get to it. It's much easier. This is much lower than the layout is. It's almost 18 inches, 15 inches lower than the layout is. So that makes a big difference. So here we're going to pin this in place here. And pin this in place. I want to just give a shout out to Otter Valley Model Railroad. I don't know who runs the show there, but that big Walther's engine shed took just a few days to get here, and I'm talking that thing came from southern Ontario somewhere, and it was almost like having an Amazon order delivered by Purolator. It was here almost instantaneously. So I am very happy with the service I get with Otter Valley. Now, see this little piece of track? I'm just going to lay it right here for now. Again, I'm not going to cut it any shorter, but it is going to be the piece of track that finishes this crossover. So there's that. Now, like I said, this is not going to be a long video because there really isn't much to show you, much to do. So now, why do I have that? That's interesting. Okay, this is a left-hand one. I don't need this piece of paper underneath it. It's already here and in place. So again, pin it down, and you can see that what I'm going to do here is this is 130-inch section of track. Now I think I buy the track from Pfeiffer in the States. They sell it in bundles, so you can buy like 25 pieces of this stuff at one go. And so if you do the math, 25 times 30 inches is quite a whack load of track. So here again, I'm gonna, always that's there for a reason. Okay, like that. And again, this piece that's joining the turnout to the next turnout is longer than it needs to be, so that we can manipulate and adjust. That way we can adjust and straighten track, and I can do that here rather than when it's way over there on the layout. There may come a point where I glue everything on this first board down, because quite literally this first board is finished in terms of all the track that has to be laid on it. That's because I started here and I ran out as I went down the length of the layout. So now what do we need to do? Well, I need to cut a piece of track here. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it a little long. And again, pin it down. This again allows me to manipulate this this set of turnouts right here where my hand is. Can you see that? You probably can't. Hold on. Let's give you a better view. Turn it a bit more. There we go. So this will give me some leeway in putting these turnouts together. So So as you can see, I need a left here, a left here, and a left here. So I just need 3. I ordered 4 in case somehow I had screwed up, but I don't think I have. But who knows? Lord knows, who knows. So again, I've got this piece of track left over now, and I'm going to take it, and again, I'm going to cut it longer than it needs to be to complete the cross-up. Now all of these cuts, I'm going to have to go in, and I bought a new set of magnifying glasses that they wear. They look just like glasses, and they have these replaceable magnifying lenses that go in front of them. And I'm going to file that one and get a file, go over all of these cuts to make sure that they are nice and clean, and will take rail joiners easily. So where are we at now? Well, everything on the first board is done. I can see that I've got a little short piece of track here that I'm going to need to lengthen. So I'm going to do that now before I forget, because at my age, forgetting is becoming a habit some days. Not all the time. I find that the biggest problem I have is I go to do something, I get halfway to where I'm supposed to be doing it, and I forget by the time I get there what the hell I was supposed to be doing. Which is, at 70 is probably a normal thing, although I think I used to do that even when I was young and spry and stupid. Alright, so that goes there. So now you can see that, I think you can see that we've pretty well got all of this board done. We've pretty well got the center board done except for this left hand. And I'm not gonna, so we've got another right hand down here that I can put in place. So I am going to, let me see, where am I? Here we are. What's this? Yeah, sometimes I can't remember what I'm doing. Here we go, like that, just like that. Yeah, because then this one comes down here, and then the Y is here. So again, grab the cutters, and I am going to cut on this side, and pull this out. Take the turn out, put it here. Actually, I'm going to rethink that. This will save me some time and energy later in life here. Okay, so now I'm going to take this and pin this one, and pin this one. Now, as you can see as I go, things are getting sort of decided on the fly. So now I need to put this track in here. So we're going to do this. So now this one goes from here to there. And again, let's get some pins down here so we have the ready to go. Short section. Now see, that's a longer section, and if possible, I want to keep that longer section like that. Let's see what we got So I'm not even going to cut this one. It is longer on in both dimensions here. So that like that. Just like that. Now I got two more to do here. And then everything is done except where you see the three paper printouts of the left-hand turnouts. This is going to be here, and we're going to cut. Okay, so that's going to lay in there. Now, get some rail joiners here. Let's see if I can do this without eyeball. There. There. We'll pick up the other one here. And we'll put them together. So that's that. This is going to go right here. So, I want to make this longer. Overlap that there. I'm going to pin this down. This is going to be this, yeah. So we're going to This is part of the main, one of the main lines that goes right through the middle of the yard. And that goes there. And now we need track here. And again, as I keep saying, cut it longer. Remember years and years and years ago, I built a building in our backyard out west that I used for my art studio, and I had to get electricity to it. And I remember the electrician in town and I were very good friends. He sent an apprentice to come and put the cable underground and into the circuit box in the building. Well, he didn't cut the wire long enough, and he'd already buried almost all of it. So instead of the panel being up at a very reasonable height, it was quite low in the building, because there was no way they were going to take all of the wire back out of the trench after having covered it all in. And I remember Eddie giving the guy a fairly severe talking to about, didn't he understand that you always make things longer? You can always add, you can always cut it off, but adding is not the easiest thing. Now I'm looking at this right now, and I may separate those points and put a track in there. In fact, I think I am going to, so that this is further apart. Let's just see. What I need to do here. God, it's like 3, 4. Well, I can back it up a little bit more and make it even a little bit. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. And this is why I do it this way, because you're forever manipulating the points to get them to line up and be straight, and to make it look at least a little bit more identical. So now I cut this one, and now it's too damn short. So it'll get used somewhere, that's for sure. That's the short one. That's the short one. And we'll grab one of these long ones, and we'll lay it in here. And I think this will be the last one I do, and then we'll call it quits, because it really is becoming repetitious. Now, if you own a pair of Xerxon cutters, hide them, so that nobody else uses them for things that they shouldn't be using them for. It's like tailors who have scissors. Those scissors are only meant, and I mean it, only meant for cloth. You use them on anything else, you'll dull the blade, and it'll make it hard to work with. Okay. So, as you can see now, except for 3 turnouts, 1, 2, 3, we have pretty much finished laying out the yard. And I think I will next week. We will take this board, and we will take it from here, and we'll put it on the layout. Because I have to find out where this 7-foot piece of yard is going to be in relation to the whole length of the layout itself. So we'll just go back to the other. So I want to thank you for watching. As I say, everything I do is an experiment. Some of the stuff I've never done before. In fact, I've never built a yard before, not a big one like this. So this is why I'm doing it this way, so that I can fudge around and move things where they need to be. So anyway, thank you for watching this week. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that little bell button, and you'll get notified when I send the next one up. Usually it's either a Wednesday or a Thursday. And so take care of yourself, take care of your family, and I will see you next week when we will be at least putting the first board on the layout itself. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.